Environmental Impact Assessment, or EIA, is a detailed study that provides an opportunity for proponents, regulators, and the public to identify, mitigate, or enhance the potential environmental and social consequences of a proposed development. Conducting EIA under the Environmental Protection Act is a function of the Western Australian Environmental Protection Authority, or EPA. The EPA decides whether a proposal should be assessed according to the Environmental Impact Assessment Administrative Procedures. The best practice principle of scoping refers to the process that seeks to ascertain the significant issues and impacts to be considered in an EIA. Significant impacts are determined with regard to their nature and extent, likely adverse effects on the environment, and options for mitigation. The issues identified in the scoping report will determine the overall quality of the EIA. The case study I've chosen to look at for this assignment is the Red Hill Resource Recovery Facility, or RRF. The Red Hill RRF received approval for implementation via a ministerial statement in July 2014. The proponent for the development was the Eastern Metropolitan Regional Council, or EMRC. The proposal was to construct and operate a resource recovery facility within the existing waste management facility to process waste into energy using either anaerobic digestion or gasification technology. The existing Red Hill Waste Management Facility began operation as a landfill in 1981 and has expanded to be one of Perth's largest landfills. Establishment of the RRF is projected to divert waste from landfill and increase the life expectancy of the waste management facility. The aim of this video is to critically review this case study against my two best practice criteria for scoping to show the extent that the EIA process carried out represents best practice EIA. My two best practice criteria are: 1. The proponent should conduct consultation with external stakeholders prior to creating the terms of reference, or TOR, of an EIA as part of the scoping process, and 2. The proponent should utilise local knowledge as part of the scoping process to identify alternatives for a development with consideration of significant impacts that it could impact on said stakeholders. These criterion represent best practice because the potential impacts and alternatives are put forward with input of local context and values rather than those of the proponent. As shown in Assignment 2, the process for scoping an EIA in Western Australia meets expectations for best practice criteria 1 and partially provides for criteria 2, though without directly addressing the role of local knowledge to determine alternatives, it cannot be fully accounted for. Overall, the case study performs well according to criteria 1 due to the substantial amount of community consultation executed before and throughout the scoping process. According to the proponent's Public Environmental Review, or PER, consultation began in 2005. While there is no specific terms of reference section within the proponent's scoping document, there is indication that early consultation with stakeholders has impacted the framework of the scoping document. This is evidenced by the selection of the Red Hill site from 3 options based on feedback and the facilitation of a community research program to ascertain views on preferred technologies, which narrowed the provide options down to anaerobic digestion and gasification. The case study does not meet full expectations of best practice for criterion 2. There are many opportunities for the proponent to tap into local perspectives to find alternative options for the development. For example, the proponent's Public Environmental Review document refers to the establishment of a community partnership. The partnership aims to provide confidence that community aspirations and concerns are being considered. There is no reference to considering alternatives to the development utilising local knowledge or seemingly any intention to do so, as reflected in the tone of responses to the PER. Concerns about this from stakeholders are reflected in multiple public responses to the PER document relating to siting and choice of waste-to-energy technology. The case study falls short on this criterion in the same way the EPA scoping process falls short, as the EPA provides no specific guidance as to what should be discussed or should come out of the consultation in the scoping stage that reflects consideration of alternatives. Allowing ample opportunity for stakeholder consultation, but little actual opportunity to make changes to the development outside of the proponent's provided options, makes the consultation seem somewhat superficial, despite its significance to best practice EIA in Western Australia.